Hi everyone, my name is Simon Mishevich and this is a blank screen, but it is going to be an interesting video talking about filing micro accounts with Companies House. You can do this for free. You do not need to pay an accountant to do this, but there are issues by doing things yourself, so make sure you follow this video step by step. Now I'm going to do a breakdown of this video of what's being said in front of us by Companies House, and I'll give you the URL below this video so you can watch it yourself without any interruption from me. But there are some things I want to talk to you about. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
Welcome to the online demo for filing micro-entity accounts. Filing online is the quickest, easiest and safest way for you to file your accounts. This demo is intended as a guide only, so please ensure that when you file your accounts, you use your actual company's information and figures. To begin, you will need to log in and authenticate in order to use the service. We are using a dummy account.
Okay, so straight away, I'm having to stop this video because it doesn't tell you where to go. So first of all, I'm going to go online, and you can see there are 3 tabs. I'm going to talk about this one. And you could do a Google search, which just says sign into Companies House. You could do a Google search and you will get here. So here's the long URL. Boy, that's long. But do a Google search, sign into Companies House. So what you can do then is put in your email address and password. Your password sometimes could be your authentication code, which Companies House have sent to you. So once you get into that, you'll be then given different types of screens. One of those screens will be to file your accounts, which is going to be this screen that you can see. So let's carry on.
For this demo, this screen will appear after you have successfully logged into the Companies House web filing service. You should have already prepared your accounts by this stage. Once you're on the company profile page...
Okay, so another interruption straight away. What if you haven't got your accounts ready? What do you need to have in place? Well, here you need your bookkeeping to be done. Now, again, if you're comfortable with numbers, you might be happy to put in all your income from sales. You may be happy to put in all of your costs. Now, the one thing I would say to you is if you're doing this by spreadsheet or by other mechanisms, which is pretty manual, you could make a lot of mistakes. So one thing you can do is hop over to this page here, which is Free Agent. Free Agent is an accounting software for small businesses, which if you sign up to Metal, which is part of NatWest, so it's no small organization whatsoever, but you can sign into Metal, get a bank account, which is free banking, so perfect for small businesses. Then hop over to Free Agent, free bookkeeping because you got free banking. And then once you've done your account, which is for a 12-month period, and by the way, let's imagine that you've got your account that starts on the 1st of January, which it isn't always going to be the case. Then you have 12 months of bookkeeping, which will be, in this case, 31st of December. And you typically would have to file your accounts with Companies House 9 months and 1 day after your year end. So you talk about the 1st of October. Okay, so with all that said, let's carry on with the video.
To file accounts. The date next to this button will also advise you on the account's filing periods. On the next page, select the micro-entity accounts option. Next, you'll need to make sure that your accounts meet the outlined criteria. Your accounts need to meet at least 2 of the outlined criteria. The criteria may change from time to time as we update the online filing service. Once you've checked this, select micro-entity accounts. You'll then be taken to the balance sheet. You should use the values on your prepared accounts here. If your company...
And again, just on this point, if you're using software such as Free Agent or any other type of software, but Free Agent is free for small businesses, of course, then they will give you reports. One typically will be a profit and loss account, which will show your income and your cost, which is then your profit. And then you have this balance sheet, and your balance sheet is what is going to be used for this software. A balance sheet report will be there for you. You don't need to construct it from fresh if you're using professional software such as Free Agent.
Submitting its first year accounts, only the current period will be displayed. For demonstration purposes, we're going to use sample data. Enter a value into the field called called up share capital not paid. The value should also be entered into the capital and reserves field. If some fields don't apply to you, leave them blank. Please carefully read the statements on this page. Select the tick box to confirm you agree to them. You must also sign and date the accounts you are filing. You also have the option to provide additional notes by expanding the link at the bottom of the screen labelled "Do you want to provide any footnotes to the balance sheet?" This is where off-balance sheet arrangement notes can be added. You will need to insert information about the number of employees you have. Once you have entered all of the information, select Validate and Continue. Now is your chance to review your content and change it before you file your accounts. If you want to go back and make changes, and you'll need to reconfirm the information submitted from there onwards, you can download a draft unsigned copy of the accounts for you to review and save. When you're ready, select the Submit Your Accounts button and they'll be submitted to Companies House. You will then be presented with a submission confirmation page. Make a note of the submission number in case you have a query. You will then receive 2 emails. The first to inform you that the accounts have been received, and the second to say they have been accepted or rejected. And that's it. Before you log out, don't forget to sign up to the Companies House email reminder service, and we'll tell you when your confirmation statement and accounts are due. You can now sign out.
Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that video. One thing it doesn't say, and quite understandably, this is Companies House video, so it'll only talk about your accounts. But what about your tax return? That needs to be also submitted to HMRC. Well, that's a separate activity, so you need now to go to HMRC and then follow that process to complete a tax return. So make sure you don't forget that, because just doing your accounts with Companies House does not avoid the whole process of filing a tax return to HMRC. So make sure that you do that, because otherwise you could face penalties. So hopefully that's been a useful video to go through.